The Paramount Chief of Wungu, Nazori Saka Suleimana, in the West Mamprushi municipality of the Northeast region, has authorized a manhunt for a group of armed residents who attacked and killed a bull elephant. The chief has been angered by the refusal of the residents to heed his warning not to harm the animal after its presence in the area was brought to his attention. The chief has therefore ordered the residents to stay away from the carcass as attempts are made to report the incident to the health and the forestry services in Wale Wale. Ilyasu Tanko reports.
The animal was killed Friday afternoon near a small stream outside the villages of Palio and Misiu, about 15 minutes ride from the Wungu town. It was still not clear how the elephant was murdered, as none of the locals at the scene was willing to speak to us. However, it was gathered that the animal was cornered by not less than 20 armed men who fired from different directions as it attempted to flee a small burnt forest in the area. At the scene, the animal was slaughtered and its head, including the ivory, taken away by the killers. The rest of the body was severely riddled with bullets. The assemblyman for Wungu, Alasa Nasiru, who spoke on behalf of the Paramount Chief, said the chief is furious over the matter because the residents chose to disregard his warning against the killing of the animal.
It was yesterday in the morning around 8:30 thereabout. We was in the palace when we hear that there is an elephant crossing Yama Road. So they called Nanzoa to inform the Paramount Chief of Wungu. So he told them they shouldn't touch it, they should leave it alone. So by a few minutes time, we hear that it is in Mishu. So they recall again and he said nobody should touch it, they should leave it alone. So wherever it is, it will go back to where it is. You don't allow anybody to do anything to it. So later on, around 3 thereabouts, we hear that they have a group of people came and shot and buried. So, and the Paramount Chief of Wungu traditional area give authority that they shouldn't touch it, nobody should touch it. Once he said they shouldn't kill it and they refused and done that, they should leave it alone. I think that is why it's lying down since yesterday till this time.
The assemblyman also said the chief has ordered a search for those behind the killing.
At first of all, he was looking for those who have killed it. He didn't get. So because of that, they should leave it alone. We didn't even see a person who said they are the group of people who killed it. Because according to them, yesterday when you come here, the time they were here, the guns that was shooting is about 20 or more. So they didn't even actually know who killed it. And they don't want to even tell actually who done that.
He said attempts were being made by the Paramount Chief to contact health and the forestry services in Wale Wale to report the matter.
Because according to him, once it is like this, we cannot leave it alone. We have to give the forest people, notice to also come and observe it. But fortunately, we went this Saturday, when we got to the office, nobody is there.
The scene of the incident was literally a tourist attraction as dozens of the locals from far and near thronged the place to have a look at the killed mammal. While many came with the intention to get a share of the meat, others came just to watch and take pictures on their mobile phones. The assemblyman, however, had this message for the crowd gathered at the scene. All those who are not supposed to be here are to leave immediately. You have been asked already not to come here. After this announcement, anyone who refuses to leave should have themselves to blame for any ramifications that might come upon them. Some of the residents spoke to Joy News.
We all hear that elephants have been shot and dead at Palu. Here we call it Palu. So all of us were here to witness and to see it. Some of us never even seen elephant before. So in fact, when we hear that, it was very amazing to everybody. So we're all here to see how elephants look like.
And we have never seen elephant before, so we are here to see it. Ilyasu Tanko reporting.
Meanwhile, the Wildlife Division has begun a series of measures to retrieve the ivory of the bull elephant killed by the residents at Wungu in the West Mamprushi municipality. Joseph Benlila is Regional Wildlife Manager for Northern Ghana, and he joins us via Zoom on this. Tell us why, first of all, we are retrieving the ivory.
Good afternoon to you and to your cherished listeners and viewers as well. Yes, the story is true. An elephant has been killed very painfully in the West Mamprusi districts in the northeast region. And so, yes, it is an offense indeed for anyone to kill an elephant in this country. The Wildlife Conservation Regulations, LIs 685 of 1971 prohibits the hunting of an elephant, particularly the fact that an elephant is classified as a wholly protected or species, and for that matter, it enjoys very strict conservation. And so, yes, we would have to go all out to ensure that.
Unfortunately, our connection with Mr. Binninla is failing us at the moment. We will try and re-establish contact with him so we can have a fuller conversation. But the story, of course, is that an elephant has been killed at Wungu in the northeast region, and wildlife authorities are currently going to retrieve the ivory from the elephant's corpse. We now have Mr. Binninla joining us. Sorry, sir, we got cut off earlier. You were telling us why exactly we are just retrieving the ivory.
Yes, what I was saying a while ago is that it is an offense for one to kill an elephant in this country. It's also an offense for anyone to be in possession of any part of an elephant, be it meat or the tusks, or the ivory. And so, yes, we would have to go all out and ensure in the first place that those criminals who want to the extent of killing elephants are brought appropriately to book. They are prosecuted, they are arrested and prosecuted, and then the task that is likely to be in their possession is also retrieved and then taken in possession to the Forestry Commission.
How will the body of the elephants be disposed of?
Well, unfortunately, when we got wind of the crime and got to the scene, the carcass had already been dismembered and then, taken away by the people who were there. And so, yes, we didn't find any carcass there to retrieve.
Right. We are looking at live visuals of the carcass at the moment. Where is it now, and are your men on their way to pick it up?
What I said a while ago is that when we got to the scene, we mobilized, myself and my men, we mobilized and got to the scene yesterday, the crime scene yesterday. And as at the time we were there, the carcass had been taken away. The
very carcass we are looking at now?
It was dismembered.
Okay.
And taken away. We didn't find any meat anywhere.
Do we know how this elephant ended up in Wungu?
Yes, historically, the area has been the migratory ground for the African savanna elephants that we have in this country. Previously, they will migrate, if you know the geography of the area very well, they will migrate from Burkina Faso down to the Upper East region, where we call the Eastern Wildlife Corridor, Binduri, Zungoiri area there. Then eventually they exit through the Gambaga Scarp and then, use that stretch of, habitat to the Mole National Park. So it's been their migrated grounds since time immemorial. And so we are aware of the grounds, we are aware of their presence every now and then in the area. So it's not unexpected that elephants were found in the area.
If it's not unexpected, why has no protection been created for these elephants? We know their routes, we know what time they will be there, what time of the year at least. Why isn't an effort being made to ensure that they are indeed protected?
Unfortunately, in as much as we know that it is their migratory route, we are not too sure the exact time that they will pass. They are wild animals and foragers and when they want to forage. But the fact of the matter is that we are strongly on the ground. If I say we, staff of the Wildlife Division of Forestry Commission, we are strongly on the ground. We have informant network everywhere. And so, yes, that is the system we're using to manage the migratory movements of these elephants. Mind you, these are not domestic animals whereby, excuse me, say we will be heading them as we would have done to cattle. No, they move freely, and then we use our intelligent network system, including drones surveillance, to monitor their movement every now and then.
Yeah, well, they do move freely, but we know that largely they move around along the same routes, and every year, as you yourself mentioned, that this place has been known to be a place where a migratory route for elephants. So I just find it difficult to wrap my mind around the fact that we do not know where they will be and when they will be there, when indeed we are doing geosurveillance for these animals.
You see, it depends upon a particular period within a season. When there is enough water, you don't find them moving very often. But where they find it difficult to get water, to get the herbs and the fruit and leaves that they will feed on, indeed that makes them to move longer distances and perhaps faster than they would have moved. And that is why I said earlier that it's difficult to predict their movement exactly, but we are always on the ground and then using our intelligent network system. But let me also say to your listeners that it's not strange that they found, the people in the Wungu area found the elephant there. They are very much aware that the elephants have used the area, they have migrated within the area, they have foraged the area for their survival and sustenance. And so, yes, the people who did it consciously, for a purpose. Other than that, it's not strange for them to have said that, well, this is a strange animal, maybe let's go out and kill it. No. In as much as we are aware of their movement, they are also, the traditional authority, are also, the people there are also aware that it's a migratory route for elephant. And indeed, when we were in the area, there's nothing to show that the elephant threaten anybody's life. There's nothing to show that it went into anybody's farm to raid cross for which region there was the cause for it to be gunned down. No. Yes, none of these things happened. And
right.
so yes, exactly.
Mr. Bindinla, thank you very much for joining us.